what is football to me? Football was, at the time, my passion, man. Come through the academy system from young. It's got a lot of stories to tell, really.
So,
Let's do this.
what are you saying, Mr. at 1Kmac?
Well, I've played football all my life. Dipping into the content now, so I'm in and out.
That's what we're all about here in Life Through Ball, man. How do life and ball intertwine?
It's what you know, innit? It's just like second nature. Like, I'm going to go play football.
How would you compare like that moment you arrived to Arsenal to train to like you playing football growing up to that point?
I need to prove myself. I'm not saying I'm an actor. I'm not saying I'm fake. But I was around different types of kids, so I knew how to act. I think the last game I played for Norwich, because the pressure was a lot, I think I played rubbish on purpose, man. Naturally, I was like, this is a lot, man. I'm not saying I got distracted, but then the conversations you're having in the change room, like, oh, how many girls, like, you know, if you're not like the guy that's popping, this is how like cliques form.
Okay, yeah.
People don't know who they are. We're in the change room. This is a hardcore drill. Some people thinking they're bad men, but you're in an academy.
Everything's been shattered. You're injured, so you can't do what you usually do, which is go play football, train, this and that. The work side of it, your routine's gone, your identity's gone because you play for QPR, but you're not playing.
I'm just like, bro, I just want to play.
What's good, people? I'm really sorry about the shades. I'm really sorry about the shades. You know what it is, yeah? My eye just doesn't look good for camera, and if I take them off, I'm giving people a reason to just close this video. So bear with me like this. Bear with me like this today, innit? My missus took the piss though. You know what she did, yeah? She copied and pasted my face into the Three Blind Mice and edited it like that. Well, yeah, welcome back to Life Through Ball. What's going on, man? I hope you're good. I hope you're having a blessed whatever time of year it is, whatever time you listen to this. No shelf life content, man. You relate it to wherever you are, whenever you are at this point in life, innit? At your point in life. So yeah, I got a new guest. This episode, yeah, you know I'm excited to do this episode, yeah. It's because yeah, this is what you call about moving quick. And I love doing episodes where we move quick. And obviously each individual is different in the way how you have to do this outreach stuff. And if you create content in any kind of form where it involves collaboration, you know, you have to be respectful. Obviously, some people are busy and need to be booked off months ahead. Some people need a couple follow-ups. Some people might want to fill you out and check you out before they even consider accepting. But today it was a quick like, yeah, come, let's do this. So obviously massively appreciated. So I'm gonna introduce my guests, or let them introduce themselves. What are you saying, Mr. at 1Kmac?
Come on.
What's good, brother?
Hey, man. Good to see you, man.
Man. Thank you so much for coming down today, man. Retaliation rate, quick. Like,
come on, let's do this.
No, literally, bro. Last night, literally, Instagram. Yeah, just a little back and forth, and then wait, tomorrow. Yeah, I was like, okay, say no more.
Let's do this, bro.
You know when you're like, obviously, you don't want to scare anyone off.
Yeah.
But like, so yeah. So it's Kieran, yeah?
Kraig.
Yeah. Waste, man.
Got my name, bro.
No, because I saw it, innit? But it was with a K.
Yeah. It's never usually.
But your surname was like Kieran. There was a Kier.
No,
I swear.
McLeod.
Okay, I'm a waste, man. I'm sorry. I've already ruined this episode.
Cool, bro.
Nah, man. But yeah, talk to me, Kraig, man. Where you from, what you do, and what you're about.
Yeah, I'm from northwest London. Well, I've played football all my life. Dipping into the content now, so I'm in and out. And yeah, grown up in football, come through the academy system from young, and it's got a lot of stories to tell, really.
Nah, man, and that's what we're all about here in Life Through Ball, man. How do life and ball intertwine? So I like to start with 3 questions. It's what I do every episode of every guest at whatever point, and it's these 3 questions, yeah. Which, like, before we were recording, you saw me trying to evolve it, but then I just thought, let's leave it for now.
Yeah, I hear you.
So it's basically, name one small thing that you're happy with at the moment? Something you're grateful for, something you're happy with, or something good that's happened recently, big, small? Yeah.
I'm grateful for my 2 arms,
Okay.
my 2 legs, healthy lungs. I'm able to get up and walk. I've got a roof over my head. I'm rich. You know what I mean? That's what I'm grateful for every single day. I get home safely. I made it here safely. That's what I'm grateful for.
Okay, so a very ever present response. And why is that kind of gratitude so important? Why is that kind of gratitude to something so simple so important for you to acknowledge?
Because it's often overlooked. People often think they're going through bad things. I never like to compare my life to other people. If it's hard for anyone else, it's hard as it is. But these are things that it's priceless, really. If you don't have your 2 arms, your 2 legs, and a roof over your head, then that's what you call a struggle and a problem.
It's it's very wise. Like, so then, this is why I wanted to restructure the questions, but it's nothing to do with your answer, by the way.
Yeah.
But then it usually goes, oh, how did you make it happen?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you don't make it happen. You're born or you're not born with said luck of arms, legs, and lungs. You get me? And then here's where I'm going to switch it up a little bit. Instead of usually I go, how do you build / repeat on said good thing?
Yeah.
But the way I'm going to reword it is, how are you going to use that presence, that grounding of being grateful for the simplest things to elevate you further into your projects, your goals, and your ambitions, and just your self growth as a person?
So if I have these foundations, like today, like the smooth turnover, I'm gonna make a way to get there. You know what I mean? If, for example, I like being in the gym because I've got a healthy body. It's my responsibility to take care of it and evolve. And then everything starts in the gym. I get a clear head. I build discipline through the blessings I have, through the blessings I've been born with.
Okay.
So yeah,
I love it, man. That's really reflective and really like, I feel like a lot of people can take something from that and
100%.
really implement it into themselves. So thank you for sharing.
100%.
So let's just go straight in terms of football, man. Usually I go, oh, where did your passion for football start? But you know what, I'm ever evolving.
Yeah.
What is football, man? What is football to you? Where did it come from? Where did it go? Where is it now? Let's just like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm giving you the floor to just express however you want to express.
Nice. So where football started, I used to live in a cul-de-sac.
Okay.
So cul-de-sac, you know, something close. So it's like a street, a dead end, basically.
Yeah.
So
it's like them roads that you turn into and there's a bunch of houses or flats.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
So like I had a good neighborhood. We all used to play out. Not sure if kids play out nowadays, but we used to play out.
All Roblox and brain rot these days.
Yeah, man. So we're playing out and started using my left foot.
Okay.
And I'd say I learned most of my skills from just playing outside, man. Watching TV and then thinking, I'm gonna try that. You know what I'm saying? And what is football to me? Football was at the time my passion, man.
At that time when you were little?
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
My passion. It's what you know, innit? It's just like second nature. Like I'm gonna go play football. Yeah, and then you jump on FIFA after. You know what I'm saying? But football, I think it was just second nature at the time, man. Yeah, like scoring free kicks, dribbling past people.
World Cup.
Yeah, exactly.
60 seconds, all them kind of
60
vibes.
seconds, replicating the skills.
You don't want to stay in goal.
Nah, I ain't staying in goal, man. I did have a phase in goal, but I'm not when I'm playing outside, man. But it's togetherness, isn't it? Football was togetherness, and
yeah. Was it a way that you connected early days with your friends and started to build your own relationships outside of your family?
100%, 100%. That's often overlooked. Like that's a way of socializing. Yeah, and building and communicating with people. Okay. And you learn that from young. So, and to be fair, yeah, my friends, which I'm meeting after this, we all used to play outside together, and it was football. Yeah.
You know what? That this question is come to my head. It's something usually I'd ask at the end, but it's like, what's the biggest transferable skill if we're thinking back to them early days?
Yeah.
And then I don't know, What's the biggest transferable skill you've learnt from football that you bring into your everyday life now?
So I'll break it down in two ways. I now work in commercial in the city. So it's a job that is quite client facing. And because of football, I'm able to, it's nothing to me to speak to someone new and ask questions. For someone who, for example, this is no disrespect to that route, but if you've gone to like university and you've never really had to interact with people, for example, and actually work to get deals over the line without realizing, I'm able to just do that. And most of the time, opportunities come from just speaking to people and having the confidence to speak to new people. So most of the stuff I do at work and the success I see it's not through anything mad. It's just through communication. In terms of another transferable skill, it's patience and understanding processes. So like in football, when you're training, you're never really going to get an overnight change, for example. You have to follow a process and show up every day. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. And so that's the same thing I take to work, same thing I take into the gym, because I've seen how it works. I understand processes and patience.
Rome wasn't built in a day kind of vibe.
Exactly.
Okay, though that's really fascinating. I think communication is really overlooked, and it's such a simple aspect of interaction.
Exactly. Look at us.
Yeah,
that's why we're here today.
Yeah, no, communication, man, opens the door, man.
Yeah,
and then like the amount of rooms you can get yourself into, and the amount of opportunities you can allow yourself is communicate people, man.
Exactly. It's the same with my TikTok. We mentioned the For You page off camera, but it's that consistency. I didn't usually content creators. I didn't understand it. Like I was just like, you guys just post so much. Why are you posting so much for? These guys are too active. But now I understand. Without content creators, there's no entertainment.
And you know what? That kind of adds a little bit to. Oh my god, I look like such a waste man on camera, bro. Sorry, I was just looking at the screen and I'm like, oh man. You know what is a content creation? Yeah. Whatever type of content creation it is, whether it's shorts, whether it's skits, whether it's podcasts, whether it's motivational, whether it's gaming, whatever it is, yeah. Something where you're putting yourself or your skill set or something that you do or about you out there. Yeah. Consistency is communication.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Like you're communicating with your audience through constantly posting.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're not posting, then you're not there. It's kind of like on the grand scheme of things, you're basically not talking to man. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. I didn't see it like that. Yeah. No. You're right.
No, it just came to my head.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Philosopher man, and that you get joking. So let's go into. So you played football. What was it? Was it like family member gave you a ball and then you started playing, or was it you went outside, your friends were playing, and like we're going really deep, like into stripping it back?
It was probably school where I first saw it.
Ah, okay.
And yeah, you start playing in school, then you go out. So you obviously you come back from school and you're like, I found this new game. I'll start kicking ball. Obviously, I didn't have Sky and that, so
no.
Remember Champions League used to be on ITV. So.
Yeah, one game out of like every every match day, one ITV game. So we're showing our ages, bro.
Yeah. So then obviously, most of my friends on my road supported Chelsea. I got into Chelsea. I didn't get into Chelsea Football Club. I got into that.
Supporting Chelsea. Yeah. So that was through being around your group.
Yeah.
So it's another sense of belonging essentially with football. Yeah. I feel like people underplay the importance and the community aspect of supporting a team.
Exactly.
Yeah. Whether it's your club or whether it's you're supporting your team during World Cup, AFCON, Euro.
Yeah.
Like, how important was that aspect? Like if we're comparing the playing aspect and the supporting aspect, how important was that for you fitting in and making friends and being?
I'd say it was important because obviously, away from friends, if you was watch like Lampard, I used to love Lampard and John Terry, and you then start to, without realizing, you watch them on the pitch, try and copy what they do, how they act. Do you know what I mean?
When you play a World Cup, I'm Lampard.
Yeah. I'm taking a free kick, I'm Lampard.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? I'm him. So, yeah. Chelsea, again, is what built some of my passion as well.
Okay, so added into it.
Exactly.
So let's move forward. So obviously you've played football, you've you've played football, you've supported football, you've built your friendships.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're in like primary school at this kind of stage.
Yeah.
How much of at that point, because I feel like a lot. One big thing I like to talk about on this platform is identity.
Yeah.
How much how much of your identity was football at that stage?
All of it, man. All of it.
Yeah.
Because
Thought
everyone
episodes
knows
of
me
my
as
old logo, then
especially when you
5
get
and
good,
6, you'd be
get to a
6
certain
on.
level. Everyone knows you as, you know, Kraig. That's Kraig, the one that kicks ball, the footballer.
Kraig the football guy.
Yeah,
Kraig
yeah.
the. I've seen it loads of times
Yeah.
with young people I've worked with, man. I've planted the seed. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Cool.
Okay, so obviously we're moving forward.
Yeah.
When did it become more of a not serious,
Yeah.
not serious, but let's say a bit more recreational, a bit more organized, a bit more official?
When I started playing for Brent.
Okay, but when you started playing for Brent, as in we're talking the borough or the
Borough.
was it county, district, borough?
So
Like
I started borough,
Okay.
then went county. But Brent was like in year 6.
Okay,
So that's when I was like, oh, okay, I'm representing my borough now. We're getting serious.
that's the equivalent of national team at that age.
Yeah. What you played for Brent? Yeah, you made it out of Charles. People
out
were
of
pissed.
all the schools in Brent.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did that come about? You getting into Brent and stuff like that?
I think they send the trial information to your school,
Okay,
and you go down to the trials. And the trials are mass. Like the trials, everyone's there.
okay. Everyone in the whole borough, like
Yeah. And to stand out there, to be fair, it's actually impressive. You stand out in them trials, it's actually impressive.
yeah,
'Cause
no,
it was
definitely.
packed, bro. It was packed. It was hot. Yeah, man.
So we got 11-year-old Kraig,
Yeah.
walking into first of all, what made you decide to go to the trials? Was you thinking I want to represent Brent, or was you thinking, I want to play more football?
I think because I was always in and out of Sunday league, but I was a
Okay.
good player, man. I was a good player. Like school, but I was just talented, man. I'm very talented. And I think I don't know if I was told to go to the trials or I just thought for Brent, let me just do it. And it was still fun at that time, you know what I mean? It wasn't business. I wasn't looking at, I was never really looking at getting scouted. So yeah.
So let's rewind a little bit to Sunday League.
Yeah.
What was it about Sunday League when you were at that age, that primary school age, where that bloody hell, man, that was making you in and out? What was it about it that you couldn't stay in one club at that point in your life anyway?
I think it was what was it? Sometimes it's the availability for my mum to get me there.
Of course.
And what else was it? Yeah, because I wanted to be in one specific team. I didn't want to go somewhere else. I wanted to be where I enjoyed.
That's where all your friends were. You wanted to play at that club.
Yeah,
all your friends were there, but it's probably a lot further away than clubs that are like 5-10 minutes down the road.
Exactly. And because I was having so much fun, I don't think I understood that you have to be in a team.
Okay.
So I was going to Power League used to host these sessions every Saturday, and we do matches at the end. And I was having fun, man. I was like, yeah, I'm going Power League, bro. That was it was like a proper community there. But they used to give you trophies, and
okay.
I was just doing my thing, man. But then some people explained to me because I come from a single parent household, and my mum, she didn't understand football, so I was just having fun, really.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of parents come into football kind of blind.
Yeah, man.
Not blind, but just unaware.
Yeah.
Which is pretty normal. Which is why there is services that support parents now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so obviously, I just wanted to get a little bit of context about that Sunday League kind of side of things.
Yeah.
But then you went to county. You played for Brent. How does it work? So obviously, the schools gave you the trials. You went to the trials.
Yeah.
Let's go from there.
Went to the trials, and I think is there a second stage? I can't remember if there was a second stage, but obviously at the end they call out a list of names.
And this person got in.
Yeah. So, and then you get your there's a couple of pre-season games. You have to wear a tie. You have to wear your school uniform to go there, and then they give you a Brent uniform once you make the full team.
Oh, swear.
So I had my Brent tie, my Brent jacket. I used to rinse that, man. I used to take that to. I play for Brent. You know what this is? I'm sure I still have it somewhere as well. I always keep that stuff, man. I was so proud.
That's an insane achievement at a young age for doing something that you like. Is that when the switch kind of the switch kind of turned in terms of like, oh, football is more than just playing with my friends. I'm doing something big now.
Yeah, I think because obviously Sterling played for Brent, Raheem Sterling.
Okay, yeah.
So that's when I was like, oh shit, I might be good. You know, Sterling played for Brent. That's why I was even more proud.
Okay.
So yeah.
No, we've got a few ballers that come out from that northwest region.
They have,
like,
yeah.
got a few. So like, what Sterling was like, because I remember I used to go to college with someone. Yeah, I'm not from like that kind of northwest region.
Yeah.
But I used to go to college with someone, and he went to a school called Claremont.
Yeah, Claremont's name, the school I went to.
Oh, swear that. There we go.
Yeah.
So but he was obviously that year group, Sterling's year group.
Yeah.
And he was saying how I think Sterling was Wembley High or something.
Copeland.
Or Copeland, whatever. Yeah. But he was saying how he played against Sterling in school and he just used to rinse everyone, which is pretty standard if you're talking about someone that's gone and established himself the way he has.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that must have been a crazy motivation, man.
It was.
So how does playing for county / borough work? Like, is it? 'Cause I'm sure it's not like. Are you playing every week? How does that process of football work?
So Brent games were every Saturday.
Okay.
And then as you get older, you start playing for county, so Middlesex. And Brent, obviously Middlesex county is bigger than Brent.
Yeah. County's a bunch of boroughs put together, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's when it progresses. But playing for Brent every Saturday, you play against like Harrow, Ealing, always interesting games.
Okay.
Sometimes you play against, further boroughs, which is where it gets competitive. And the reason why there's a difference is because you could come up against academy ballers.
Okay, yeah.
Now, I'll talk you through that, but yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because it's not exactly. I feel like there's always that conflict of interest for mainly academy coaches and the players. I feel like the players want to play regardless.
Yeah.
At a younger age, I'm talking.
Yeah.
You still want to play with your friends, even if you play at this club or that club or whatever. Yeah. So like, but I think because county is a representation of an area, it's kind of more accepted in a way, as long as it doesn't clash with the club and the loyalties, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. County's serious.
Yeah.
It's tough football as well. It's really intense. At the time, it was.
Tell me one of your most one of your memories from playing football at that time in the Brent / county onwards.
For Brent, I got scouted for Arsenal.
Ooh,
so
okay.
under 12s, as a striker. That's when I was like, okay,
Arsenal are watching me in these games.
Yeah, that's the district Brent. That was the time to like get yourself out there. For me, anyway, I used to rate that kind of football. I know people are watching. Yeah.
So you got scouted at Arsenal. So what was that process like as a young person? You're playing football, then what? Someone in an Arsenal jacket goes up to your coach or your parent or whoever's watching you and say, "Oh, we like the look of this boy." Like,
basically, my Brent coach, he's still the head of London scouting for Norwich.
Okay.
I think at the time he was at Luton. So it's all about once people know people, it's easy for them to go up to people and say, "Oh, who's that player?" And that's what happened. He went up to a player because my Brent coach wanted me to go far. He wanted players to go far.
Okay.
I love him so much. That guy wants people to progress out of Brent and places like that.
Yeah.
So I come back from school one day, and then my mum told me after. She didn't want to tell me before. I think they knew for a couple of days.
Okay.
She didn't want to tell me before in case I get excited and nervous or whatever. So after school, literally like, yeah, Arsenal want you to come down. I was like, Arsenal, bro. Arsenal. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. And we just went training.
And what? So you went to Colney or
Hell End,
yeah. And what? So it was quick. Arsenal, boom, come this day, train and go there.
Tuesday, Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, man. And obviously, when did it start to change from I love playing football for fun to shit, I'm at Arsenal? Like what was that kind of? How would you compare like that moment you arrived to Arsenal to train to like you playing football growing up to that point?
I'd say Arsenal. You're then around at that age. Players have got egos at that age. Yeah, you're around people that know they're good. You get there and the sessions are very intense and they're sessions that you've never done before. So essentially you're a raw talent. And then it's like, oh, I need to prove myself. So I'd say naturally, if your first club is Arsenal, and at 12 as well, year 7, you're still able to think.
Of course.
Like properly, and you can overthink.
Yeah.
And I was a session killer when I got there because some of the drills that they were doing at under 12 level was advanced, man, compared to what I had seen. So it came from. I don't think I went there with the intention to enjoy it.
Okay.
Until later on in the trial.
So there was no point. At that point when you were on your way in when you were starting that trial. You were just thinking you wanted to impress rather than have fun playing football.
You think the spotlight's on you at all times, right? So you think they're just watching everything you do, which they are. And Arsenal's a very, very technical academy. So
one of the best in Europe.
Exactly.
Definitely up there in the UK.
Exactly. So very good academy, and it was just a shock to the system, which it was a good shock. It showed me the levels, and from there, it was only the only way was up from there.
So what was that process like? That trial process? How long were you trialing there for? And
I think I went there for about 3 weeks with my friend Dominic Thompson.
3 weeks, twice a week.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
With my friend Dominic Thompson, who actually got signed for Arsenal. He's at Kmac now.
Okay.
So we went there together.
Big up Dominic Thompson.
Yeah.
Man. What was it like? What was that like then? Going to, because obviously like football's quite it's such an oxymoron. It's a team sport, but it's a lonely sport, especially in that system. What was it like going to that trial and being exposed to that standard with a friend? Did that make it easier, or did that make you feel worse? Like,
nah, you're when you're training by yourself, there's no kind of friends who can't really be talking. It's that you're there for.
Well, like obviously you went to the trials with a familiar face. Did that make that kind of?
But once you're in it.
Okay, you're just in the training bubble.
Yeah, because that's one out of how many players that are there that, first of all, they've been at Arsenal for a while. They're quite good. Not everyone's the most welcoming.
Yeah, I think I've had a lot of chats with people, whether they've played in the academy system or whether they've been involved in the academy system in some kind of way.
Yeah.
And it's not an easy environment.
No, it's not. It's not.
Like check out previous episodes. But one of obviously you see the episode I sent you. Check this one out. Obviously, that's Chris Platts. Check it out. I'll link in the description and that. But and make sure to subscribe and that call to actions. you get me.
Yeah.
He talked about his whole thing was being not against the academy system, but not agreeing with how it's being run now.
Okay.
And what I found interesting with what he said was, it's children in an adult environment. So do you feel that's something you related to at the time? Do you feel like it, obviously you probably at the time you didn't realize it was an adult environment, but upon reflection?
I'd say it's definitely, because it's an intense background. You're around basically boys and men all the time. From different backgrounds, different upbringing, different way of expressing themselves. Some people are aggressive, some people are welcoming. Like when I went to Arsenal, Jaden Anthony, he's a winger. I don't know where he is now. Is he at? He was at Bournemouth. I don't know where he is now. Is it Leeds? I don't know. It could be at Leeds now.
Okay. Jaden Anthony.
But he was quite welcoming. He helped me in the drills. You probably don't remember that, but yeah. But that all those stuff made a difference. But when you go there, sometimes you make a mistake. You could get players moaning at you, which could damage your confidence, especially being new.
And Burnley, is that Burnley?
Burnley, yeah. Okay, I knew it was a Claret team or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's a really tough situation in terms of like you're going somewhere because you're immersing yourself into a new group and into a new dynamic.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a lot to do at any point in your life.
But further to one of your first questions, that's another skill I have now. I can walk into, any room. When I start a new job, I know how to speak to people again. So that's what I'm saying in football. You meet so many new faces, and that's another transferable skill. I can go when I go to the gym. I can socialize with people. I made a lot of friends in the gym. A lot of people can't,
Yeah, so
speak.
these are unique. I think there's a lot of unique transferable skills. If you're fortunate enough or unfortunate enough, depending on your experience, to play in the academy system at some point.
It doesn't matter about the level though, does it? Like if you go and play football, and
But I feel like in the academy system, particularly just because of the intensity and the
Expectation.
environment you're in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like obviously, it is there in other levels of football in terms of the camaraderie, the socializing, the community aspect.
Yeah.
But because I feel like academy football, based on conversations, not like obviously like I'm not gonna do the tour my knee kind of talk, but like based on conversations, like it's like that times 10. Do you know what I mean? In terms of intensity of not just playing, but everything else. So let's move forward in it, because I'm just really interested in how you adapted to that environment at that time, because it's the first kind of time football becomes more than a hobby at that stage in your life. And with this conversation, I'm kind of trying to paint out the evolution of your mindset throughout playing. Like, so obviously you play 3 weeks in. You do 3 weeks, that's 6 sessions. Like starts a bit difficult at first, the drills, this and that, and then it gets a little bit better, you said.
So what I did, I got scouted as a striker, and I always pinch myself for this. I didn't have it. I don't think I had enough about me at the time. I played it safe and said I was a centre back because I could play centre back too.
Wait, so you got scouted as a striker, and then you went to the session saying you're a centre back?
Yeah, but
okay.
I played it safe. I played it safe. When I was scoring goals, I just don't know why I did that. But obviously that takes me back to the household I come from. Remember, it's not. I don't have a dad to gas me up and tell me who I am. You got to find that yourself, and that's why I was doing certain things like that. Got to the end of the trial, and because I wasn't really showing what I could really do in training, I didn't get in. But they said I'll keep tabs on you. But I think they meant that because they could tell what I could do. They saw what I could do. I just don't think it was the right time, and that's why I'm never upset about not getting into Arsenal.
It's interesting. I feel like people take the release or rejection really personally, and
I was never upset.
No, but I just mean from on the surface.
Oh yeah.
Like, but yeah, no. There's what's one of the biggest learning lessons you take from that little trial period at Arsenal, and how did you bounce back from that to your next steps in your journey?
I think if I answer how I bounce back, you're probably taking me into your next questions. So
go on.
So how did I bounce back? I learned the level. That was the most important thing. I saw the level and what's expected of a player. If you want to progress, I saw what you need to be doing. So I didn't end up getting scouted for QPR.
You did end up?
Yeah, I got, just by playing, you get yourself out, you dust yourself off. Without realising you're being resilient. You're like, right, I just want to play football again. But that's resilience, right? And I didn't know that at the time. People see talent. I had the talent. It's just that I couldn't show it at Arsenal for some reason. Got scouted for QPR. Now, this is interesting. Considering QPR is the club where I spent most of my time, I actually got rejected from QPR the first time round.
Okay.
But the coach, again, my Brent coach, is always liked to QPR. He's not the best trainer. Like, some people don't train. They spend training, learning, and understanding drills. And I was someone that needed to kind of process drills. It took me a longer time. But come the game, you could tell that I've been learning. It's just that in training sometimes I just wouldn't be the best player. Which takes me on to continuing to play for Brent, and then I got scouted for Norwich.
Okay.
Because my Brent coach at the time got a job at Norwich.
So let me just so Arsenal, you move on from Arsenal, you go back to doing what you were doing. You were probably doing that while you were trialing anyway.
Yeah, I was training every day.
So you're still playing and playing for Brent.
Yeah.
Then QPR comes along, QPR saying no, and then your coach who was at Brent was at Norwich anyway. Gets you into Norwich.
Later down the line, yeah.
Later down, okay. No, I was just trying to get the context.
But with QPR though, there was a lot of like at the time, it was hard to get down there, man. They train in they used to train near Heathrow. They still do, but at a different location. But it's hard to get down there with mum that's working. There was a lot of challenges,
Let's talk about those.
Yeah, like after school, your mum, like I can imagine now. I work obviously 9 to 5. But if I had a child that needs to get to training for a certain time, that is challenging, man. That's why I respect the parents. So a lot of adjustments had to be made. I was doing a lot as well. I used to be in a choir. I wasn't just doing that. I had other sessions I was going to each week. You have to get down there. I don't think my mum ever believed in just like, letting other people handle my travel. She always wanted to be in control and like make sure I get to places safely. So I always respect her for that. And obviously, not getting to QPR at the time, I was a bit confused. That I didn't get a chance to play a match, at least. But I just always knew I was good. So then,
So you still had that inner resilience
without realizing, yeah,
This is another thing. Like based on another conversation I had, I feel like when you're young, as in like I'm talking child young,
yeah,
you've kind of got that innocence protection. Your innocence protects you. So like I feel like you're not thinking as much because you're just thinking of it as basic ABC rather than like spelling out those letters. Do you know what I mean? And making something. But it's like, would you say that innocence kind of helped you through those different challenges?
So I'm quite a deep thinker, right? So think of like a toddler when they're trying to learn to walk. They're resilient. They don't know it. Amount of times they fall down and then get back up and eventually they walk. That's resilience. So I think when you're young, you do have that innocence. Some kids don't know, but it's just like when football's what you know, it's like what else am I going to do? Just stop. So naturally you're just like, all right, what's next? So that's more of what it was. Football was what I know. That was my passion.
So you just kept doing what you liked and what you knew, innit? Okay.
Yeah.
I like the toddler example. It kind of really strips it down.
Exactly it. Yeah.
In terms of because now obviously you brought up the choir, the singing, the choir singing, and obviously that kind of performance. Did you do stuff like drama as well? I'm assuming.
I did, but that stopped. I think when I went to year 7 because of how intense football was getting.
Okay, so that's so now we're talking about like a completely different outlet and expression. How important was having those other things other than football at the time?
Very, because again, it's like I don't think I was. The thing with me is I wasn't the most confident, but I was. So I was able to express myself, and that's what like an element of performing arts is. It's an expression. I was able to like mold myself into like different situations. I'm not saying I'm an actor. I'm not saying I'm fake.
No.
But but I was around different types of kids, so I knew how to act. A lot of kids, they're only around like certain guys. Like certain kids are only around the mandem. I was around every single which allowed me to flourish. I can speak to different coaches. Some players don't have that about them, and it's not their fault, but they don't really know how to communicate with different people that don't look like them or where they're from.
Goes back to transferable skills, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
I love that. That's such a young age to realize. Because I think when I was at uni, sorry to talk about myself.
Yeah, that's right.
But when I was at uni, and like there's people coming from different parts of the country.
Yeah.
Some more posh, some more northern.
Yeah.
And I'm not like any of these guys. And I used to just like feel sorry for myself.
Yeah.
But then when I got older and I started playing rugby, and then I realized, these rugby guys are different. But fuck it, let's deal with it.
Yeah.
I find it great. I find it impressive that that was something you were able to discover so young.
Yeah.
And so when I'm talking about the rugby thing, I'm an adult.
Yeah.
So that's crazy, man. So obviously QPR doesn't happen, then Norwich does. So let's talk through that a little bit.
So Norwich came to take over London at one point, man. They planted so many development centres.
Yeah.
But these development centres were proper development centres.
Okay, it wasn't just like football in the community.
It wasn't monthly reoccurring revenue. Put it that way. It was, we got these kids here with the intention to try and get them in to the academy. We want London-based players, basically.
I wonder why.
Because you get a different aspect. There's aggression. There's more talent in London.
Bigger talent pool, isn't
it? Yeah. There's more talent, and it comes from the mentality as well. A lot of it. When we went down there, I think we used to play against Crystal Palace and that, and I think before they thought, we're just gonna go to Norwich and turn them over. But when they see the guys there, yeah, with different mentality, different way of playing, then it's like, first of all, it helps the players based in Norwich as well, boost them up, and just boost the whole academy. Yeah.
Let's talk about that London mentality. How would you define that?
So, for me, even for myself, so when I went to the development centre, I'm meeting guys from Ladbroke Grove, people from different parts of London, right? Which I'd integrated with before, but just never on that. Now we're on that professional level, if you want to call it, and it does help me. It helps you as well as an individual, because everyone's got a different swagger. Like people from West, they got a different way of playing. Like, I believe anyway. People from South, people from North, different way of playing, communicating on the pitch as well. Because a lot of football's off the pitch, and sometimes that can contribute to how you play on the pitch.
Okay, interesting. So, and then how did that mesh with the people from Norwich or the people from out of London that were in Norwich?
It was funny, man, because they found us a bit fascinating.
Okay.
Yeah, because obviously there's one guy that I used to go down with to Norwich, and he had quite a personality. So when we used to go down there, I think they were just intrigued by how different we were.
Okay.
Yeah, just personality wise, really.
So interesting. So it's kind of like showcasing yourself in a different kind of way.
Yeah.
Interesting. So then Norwich. So was it development centre? You play games. When did it develop into? What was that Norwich kind
Journey.
of trajectory like? Quickly.
So what happens at Norwich is you go to the development centres. They obviously keep an eye on you, and some people get turned away after a couple of weeks. Some people don't. They have this thing called ID days.
Okay.
So identification days. I think that's what it's called. Don't quote me on it. It was in Stevenage, where you bring all the development centres together. Obviously, you play games. Then the heads of scouting come down, and then they identify who they want to like bring into the academy on trial. And yeah, that's how it happened. I got through the ID day process.
Yeah.
Because my talent was there, and then I got invited for a 6-week trial.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yo, nice. Is it iPhone charger or is it USB-C? Oh no, I was gonna say because I got USB-C because it's making a little.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't want you to not charge your phone.
I've got a head.
Okay, yeah, cool. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Just
That's right.
Actually,
So I got through the ID day process, and I got invited for a 6-week trial
to the academy.
Yeah, but to be fair, some of the two guys I made friends with, one of them does good content now. To be fair, they got signed straight away, so they got the tracksuit straight away, man. I was like, but I got a 6-week trial. It actually got extended to 8 weeks because they weren't too sure. But I think they were sure, but they just wanted to be double sure. So I got signed after 8 weeks. So I was happy, man. And again, at that stage, because that's when it turns serious, and the mental aspect starts to come in.
And it's the first time you've been signed into an academy and then part of it.
Cat 1 as well is a big. So Cat 1's the same level as Chelsea, Arsenal.
Yeah, no. Cat 1 is you've got the best facilities basically.
Yeah,
you can facilitate good player development.
Yeah. And obviously it's another pressure now. Everyone from school knows. That was a big pressure at the time. You're carrying some weight there, mate.
No, you're
Kraig from Norwich.
You're more than just Kraig the footballer now.
Yeah.
You're Kraig the guy that plays at a pro club.
Yeah. And again, that was a mental journey for me.
So would you say that's when the kind of I like to call it like the innocence bubble in terms of, would you say that's when it sort of started to not pop but started to get small, because now you're thinking about things outside of you just playing football?
I'll tell you what, to strip it back a bit, I had that level of innocence at Arsenal and QPR a bit, but I've always been quite a deep thinker, naturally. Yeah. So I'd say when it started to get serious, I was a deep thinker anyway. So nerves is what I struggled with. Was it nerves? Was it self-confidence? I'd say I struggled with, because again, with all these players, like I was so observant. I said, all these lot have their dads or a brother, an older brother, or even an older sister to be like, yeah, this is like, to build them up and, you know, remind them who they are. And sometimes that's what I lacked. I think if I had that, I wouldn't have gone through some of the mental challenges I had.
Okay.
In terms of like confidence or thinking myself into a bad game.
Let's talk about these mental challenges.
Yeah, like sometimes I could tell when I was going to play bad, man. I think the last game I played for Norwich, because the pressure was a lot, I think I played rubbish on purpose, man. I played within myself on purpose because I was like, naturally, I was like, this is a lot, man. This is a lot. Like what they expect from you at that age, or what you think they expect from you at that age, can be a lot. I did overthink it.
Was that because of the pressures of the academy's environment and the level that you were involved in?
You put a lot of pressure on yourself, so and naturally, it takes you a while to understand that everyone's journey is different. So,
how much of that external pressure went into your internal self, in terms of external pressure being the environment and where you played and where you were?
So going back to being quite observant and deep thinker, you see players come through the door all the time. You're like, why have they signed someone new? And you're like, oh damn,
Well, they're taking my shot.
yeah, I need to perform here. Like, I need to perform. How am I going to keep the tracksuit? Do you know what I mean? Like, I need to perform. It's just, I can't explain it. It's just intense, man. It's just intense. Like, you think of everything else, like, and this is before even getting paid. You're thinking of what's everyone else going to say if I don't play well outside in Norwich, and what's my teammates thinking? What's the coaches thinking? That's the main thing. Like, what's the coaches thinking? I just made a mistake. Oh,
It's disastrous.
Yeah. I didn't play too well. That's your whole weekend done, man.
So what the bad performances would follow you in terms of your thinking and your mood after that game?
I tell you what, and this happens. This is something it's taken me years to get over. Sometimes you think you played bad and you haven't. People are like, "What?" But you think you think you have to do everything perfect. You don't. So I used to get in my own head.
Is that an aspect of like being what's the word? Like just being overly critical?
Probably, yeah. Like, probably. Just being critical of my performance and not understand.
It's like, oh sorry.
That's right. No.
It's like it's like you have high standards, and then if you drop even like 0.1 below that, then
Yeah. And obviously, some people they train well. I think you get a lot of your confidence from training. So even the drills, like you'll think, it doesn't mean just because you don't understand the drill, it doesn't mean you're a dead player. So sometimes I didn't understand the drills. You take that confidence in to your game. So it kind of starts from there, the whole process. You don't just jump on the pitch and it's just like, yeah, I'm here. It's the whole process starts from training. And that's what used to happen with me.
So because you didn't train as well as you would play, it just really knocked your confidence going into a game.
Some games, yeah. Some games.
So
yeah.
what's some games where that wouldn't be such a factor? What's your mind going through at a game where you're not so worried about how you trained? Or would it be that you had a better training session, therefore you felt a bit more ready?
I don't know. Sometimes it could just be down to your first touch. Down to how your teammates are. Like a well done can mean so much from a coach. Do you know what I mean?
An unlucky or a good try or whatever.
Yeah, I'd say your coach makes a difference as well. Because if your coach isn't the most motivating coach, sometimes for some man it's game over. I know that was the case for me. If I knew my coach rated me on my side, I'd go into that game with confidence, man.
That's interesting.
It's like a workplace, though, isn't it?
Yeah, not 100%. And this is what I'm saying though. You're dealing with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
At 12, 13, 14. Do you know what I mean? Like where you really want to impress someone, or you really want someone to have your back. That's a really, I feel like that's why I like the academy system. People, and this is why I like to talk to people that have been in that system.
Yeah.
There's so much that, and I've spoken to, I think at this point now, at time of recording, I've spoken to 3 or 4 different players or people that played in the academy, and each story has been so different.
Bro, I'm telling you, sometimes there was injuries I could play through, but I was like, nah, man, I needed shelter. So there was injuries I could play through. I had no one to speak to at that age. There's so much things that young players will go through at that age. You're thinking it's just nerves. It's more than that. It's anxiety. It's all these things. But obviously, some parents don't believe in that. I didn't know what I was doing, so I didn't even speak about that.
Okay.
But I thought, maybe it's just nerves. I could get through this injury, but let me just say, nah.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about
Yeah.
that loneliness. Would you say it was loneliness, or would
Yeah,
you say?
because remember, I'm a big player. At that time, I think at 13, I was 5'11", bro, just touching
Bloody hell,
6 foot.
man.
So I'm a big player. Naturally, people expect more from you, but you're the same age as everyone else. You got the same thoughts. Just because you're tall don't make you any different. That's a lazy way of thinking. You know what I'm saying?
So that's one thing. So you're feeling that kind of pressure
Exactly, because of the stature.
because of your stature.
Yeah.
That's just one thing. And funnily enough, people would feel that same way about their stature if they were smaller.
It's
Because
like,
there's
yeah,
players that get released because they're too
too
small.
small. Yeah, so it's
But
both
then,
sides.
that's interesting.
And I'm at the time I'm going through anxiety at 13. But I didn't know. You just think it's nerves. What am I doing? So when you go through certain injuries that you probably could play through, you're like, nah, because you're looking for protection, but you don't know how to express it because you don't know what's going on. Which which is mad. I've seen players go through even worse, man. Especially when they have a dad on the sideline who's onto them, pressuring them, and sometimes with dads, they don't understand the game. They think they do, but how can you tell a player what to do if you've not gone for it?
Yeah, and there's even in grassroots levels, I've seen like the coaches go to the vet, don't give them no
Yeah, because you don't know what you're
advice,
talking about.
don't
Yeah,
give them this and that.
you don't. That's another topic, but which I'm quite passionate about. But
We'll get there. We'll
yeah,
get
yeah,
there.
yeah,
But I really want to understand you and
yeah.
how you were feeling at that moment. What was like? Was there a point where it got all too much, all those feelings and all that withholding those feelings because you didn't have no one to share them with, but you didn't share them with no one because you didn't quite understand them.
Yeah, I think that last game I ever played for Norwich against the Under Armour Academy, where I was on the pitch and I was just like
So how old was you then?
14.
Okay, so 14, and this is where we're going back to the point where you said you played rubbish on purpose.
I was done. I was done with Norwich, man.
So
Like,
you just didn't want to. It was like a self-sabotage kind of thing.
yeah, that's exactly what it was. Self-sabotage. Like, I was done with Norwich. To be fair, because there was a whole thing of like, if from 14 you're going to you have to start going to the school, the boarding school, and that I'm telling you, I was such a deep thinker, which I still am. I was thinking about all these external things, and I was like, I don't really fancy a boarding school. I'm not away from home going to a boarding school in Norwich, or going to a school in Norwich and staying with another family. I'm not doing that, bro. In my head, I was like, that's too tough for me. I'm already not comfortable. To go and do that is, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think because now it goes back to what you said at the start when we spoke about transferable skills, and you talked about communication. Communication is what brought us here.
Yeah,
Today, communication is what will take us there tomorrow.
exactly.
When did you but rather than communicate at that stage in your life anyway,
Yeah.
rather than communicate, you probably because you didn't know how to at that time,
Yeah.
where we're going through all sorts of different things when we're growing up. And then when you mix that with the pressures of elite football, gosh,
It's just crazy, man.
like when the commute went. So what? When you got told that not to come back, or how was that process, the retain and release at that time when you were at Norwich?
And obviously, this is no disrespect to Norwich, and I'm not getting onto Norwich at all. It wasn't, the process was, it wasn't a verbal process. We got a letter. So at that age, you get a letter. And again, no, this is nothing on Norwich. It's probably the process. But obviously, my guy that worked at Norwich at the time, we called him straight away, and he outlined it to us, and he told us, and he got me a few trials straight away.
Okay.
But that was me and my mum. It was through yeah. We looked at each other and it was like, but then this is where the resilience comes from already. It was like, oh, this was a tough one to take, but because the guy at Norwich that got me into the head of London scouting, he got Reading for me, QPR, Southampton. So I had options. So it was a smooth transition. So although I was resilient, it was I went to play a game for QPR again. So I went back to QPR, which is, I always think about this.
You know what? Just before I forget what I want to say is, how did you take that when you read the letter that said, unfortunately, whatever it is, the redirection. I'll call it redirection letter. Yeah. How did you feel within yourself? Did you feel, because like obviously you talked about that self-sabotage and you kind of played that game to get yourself out of that environment? How did you feel relieved, or was you disappointed, or was you, because I feel like there's a lot of emotions that can be at stake.
So it's
out there.
interesting. It's a bit complex. See the self-sabotage thing? It wasn't necessary to get myself released. I didn't want to get released. I kind of just wanted to catch a break, to be fair. But when I saw the letter, yeah, I was upset, man. I was upset. I was guilty because I knew that something wasn't clicking for me.
What, at Norwich?
Yeah, towards the end, because
Okay,
there was a
yeah.
time like during that season where I was playing in my preferred position, which was centre mid. I was doing quite well. But you just know when someone doesn't want to push you. It's like a boxing promoter. If they don't want to push you, and you can tell, you're not going to progress. And that's how it is in football. If it's all about who wants to push a player, man. That's what it is.
And that goes back to like
And you can
what
tell.
you said about the coach having your back or believing in you. That made you feel like you could get over those hurdles more.
But I could tell it wasn't there at the time. You can tell, you pick up on those energies, and then especially at that age, for some players who are a bit more complex, you're just like, let me.
That's really interesting.
I don't want to get released. Of course, I don't want to get released, but I just don't want to be here.
But then, obviously, you're not being able to express that or have those conversations because you're withholding, isn't it? You're withholding, and that's no fault to you. That's just.
I'll get into more of that, like why players don't speak out as well. It's still an issue.
Okay, let's talk about that then. Why? What do you think it is with players not wanting to speak out? And have you been able to share your experience with other players and realize, oh, I wasn't the only one?
That's what TikTok is, isn't it? That's what the TikTok thing is. Basically, I fast forward to being at QPR because we can go back.
Yeah.
But I fast forward to being at QPR when
you get into QPR. You have your options, and then you pick QPR, and that's where you're at.
Yeah, I got signed by half-time at QPR.
Okay.
And to be fair, but this is the message to people. I actually made a mistake that led to a goal in that same game. But the message I try and relay to people that message me is, you don't have to be the full package to get scouted. The clubs will scout you based off potential. So if they see elements that they can coach into you, then you'll get signed. So people think you've got to be the full pack. You don't. So that's why I got signed quickly, because first of all, my stature, I showed what I could do. Then I eventually got signed. Went through the whole process at QPR. I still struggled mentally. People didn't know.
Okay, talk to me.
So we had psychology sessions, right?
Yeah.
And at that age, you're not taking that serious, man. You're thinking, if I talk out, do you know how weak I'm gonna look? Remember, you're basically around school kids as well. You're not with school, but it's still school kids. Like, it's that mentality. You're on the train with them. You're going home. If I dare say I'm weak or going through something at that age, when it wasn't. This is like 2015, so it's not far away. But there wasn't that like focus as there is now on people's mental, and it's not. I think back then it would be looked at as, this guy, bro. He's the man up. Like, he needs to pan up. That's probably the reason why a lot of players, especially myself, like, hid how your brain was wired. And that's what it is. That's how I put it down. It's how you're wired. It's not you. Sometimes you don't choose that. It's how you're wired.
Wow. And you think but what, because at QPR obviously you did get your scholar.
Yeah.
And
Early, bro. Early.
That's even
Year 9.
Year 9. Oh. Because like obviously I done a session.
Yeah.
I sat in a session about resilience a few months ago, and I was with obviously the guy was giving the session on resilience. I was just there present.
Yeah.
And it was with the under-16s at AFC Wimbledon.
Yeah. How's that?
It was really interesting because they bless them, they took it in.
Nice.
And they listened, and that's some credit to the person that ran the session.
Nice.
But I'm just thinking the pressure of obviously there's different stages in the academy.
Yeah.
Obviously you've got, and different challenges you'll face, both personal and both institutional in terms of whatever. I'm going by conversations, not like experience and not like first-hand experience. But it's like the scholarship side, especially if you're trying to push for your scholar at under 16s, like what I'm getting at is it's a lot of pressure because you're thinking in your GCSEs. You're kind of, when you're 16, when you're in year 11, it's the first kind of time in your life, depending on you, where you're kind of put under a lot of pressure in school to like
Okay,
take the next step. So
I know what you're trying to say.
yeah, go on.
So basically, how I got my scholar in year 9, right?
Yeah.
But bear in mind, this time I'm still maturing as a boy, a teenager, right? So I've got other aspects that I'm seeing at school. You start thinking about girls gradually. So then your QPR becomes a part of your identity, your package, your value to people, right? Guys outside of QPR focusing on different things. I got my scholarship early, so it was a bit of a different psychological challenge.
That's what I'm saying.
Whereas like I'm sorted after this.
People are fighting hard in year 11 in under 16s to get that scholar contract to play and train full time.
But you'll notice a pattern. Although Norwich released me, my transition was swift. Life is never like that. So I had a solution straight away. It was smooth.
When something didn't go to plan in football.
Pardon?
It was smooth when something in football didn't go to plan.
Yeah. So when I got released, sometimes players have to fight hard to get into another club. For me, I played one game for QPR, signed. Life is never really like that. So you'll see the pattern as we go in the conversation. And then, again, got my next stage sorted, scholarship. Smooth. Some players really, really have to fight to the deadline to get their scholar. Then, it's like, okay, what's the motivation now? Obviously, it's to play first team. But then again, I was still going through all these challenges. Like, it's not just about on the pitch. It's like, how are you doing as a person? I'm from Northwest, so I've got kids that are going down all sorts of paths. My immediate circle weren't doing the greatest things for society. Like, you start thinking, who am I? You don't know who you are yet. So it's like, my friends are doing this. Shall I dabble in that or shall I not?
Because you still want to fit in at the end of the day.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to do, fit in, and I just wanted to be loved and spread love. There's all these things you're going through whilst being at a QPR, which contribute to how you perform on the pitch, how you train. I'm going through growth injuries. I'm trying to do my best in school because you get pressure from teachers. I was never the best academically. I was good at English, never maths. That was my biggest challenge. Subconsciously, you then stress about that. There's a lot of challenges. But because I got my scholarship early, part of me was like, well, I was never complacent, but part of me was like, well, I'm not stressing about a scholar. There's fights after school, there's girls here after school. I might just stay today, because there's a lot of pressure, but I might just, chill around here because it's where I feel safe, I feel comfortable.
Familiarity. Right?
Yeah. But when you go to QPR, it's a bit of you're kind of exposed a bit. You're around other people. Some coaches are different. We're working on a different personality. It's like having a manager at work. It's all tough. It can be a lot. And that's why I go back to one of my first points is players who have their dad, especially, or mum that's really behind them, is valuable, man.
So let's talk about that support network, because I feel like support networks are so important in just personal development. Growing up, footballer, no footballer, hockey player, whatever, like personal support network is key in it. So let's talk about your support network growing up, like when you were in that football journey and going through those different challenges.
So my mum's the reason why I've turned out. I'm not beating my own drum, but I'm a decent guy.
Okay.
But there's only so much a mother can do, in terms of, as a boy especially, you're gonna respect what an older man says, or you're gonna listen to what they say. If they tell you you're that, or this is what you could be, you're gonna take it on board. A mother can only do so much, and that's not because she's a mother. It's just the way it is. A mother can't. They can play both roles, but there's certain aspects where, especially a teenager, he needs that older brother or that dad to be like, and respect their opinion on certain things. That's what I lacked. When you've got, and this ain't no rant, but if you've got a father who doesn't play his role, I think that needs to be looked into a lot by clubs where a player comes from, where his household, because it will expose itself. It will expose itself. You'd see it, and a lot of people don't. They're not really in football. They're not really. You've got a lot of coaches that they've had smooth upbringings. They don't know what it's like, so obviously they're not going to look out for those things.
Yeah, no, that's fascinating. In terms of the looking into, because it goes back to what I was saying about the training ground when I went to visit Wimbledon. Obviously, I went to visit Colchester at another time.
Yeah,
and I
nice.
sat in a session, and it was I was with the player care team.
Yeah,
and I sat in a session just observing, just like it was a day visit.
yeah,
and they were talking about host families.
Yeah.
And because some guys can't travel from far, and
Exactly,
they end up
yeah.
having to. So they're talking about host families, and the coach, the player care manager's just talking about all behaviour and this and that and what to expect, that kind of stuff. Yeah. And then after the session, I was like, talk to me more about host families.
Yeah.
Really break that down to me, because I'm aware that it exists,
Yeah.
but I really want to know about it.
and that's powerful. The fact that you're like, talk to me. You ask those extended questions. You want to know.
Yeah, and then I'm like, what's the process? What's
Yeah.
this? What's that? And then he's talking about how matching players to correct families.
Yeah.
Getting obviously families meeting host families, this and that.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's different at each club. Some clubs have different setups. Some clubs have like some kind of accommodation for all players. It's different everywhere, isn't it? But like I really wanted to know, and obviously, they just talked about matching this and that, and really getting to know the player's background and their family.
Yeah.
Because like the player care manager might go sit in and see what their home life is like, and then obviously this is now. Obviously, it might have been different at the time you were coming through, but then it just got me thinking to. And obviously, different clubs prioritize different things.
Yeah.
There's that as well. And
Yeah.
categories, budgets. That's all.
Yeah.
But it just got me thinking when you said, like, not knowing
A player.
not knowing the player.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think can be done better? Because obviously, there's loads of stories of players that didn't fulfill their potential. Like the most viral and common story is the Ravel Morrison stuff.
Yeah.
Or now Ranger.
Yeah.
Like.
I think it's judgment. A lot of people cast judgment on these individuals, not understanding what a day in their life is for them. I've learned now never to judge someone based off what their actions are. You don't know. Everyone has a different way of expressing themselves. Now, I'm gonna be quite direct here. I think a lot of people in football are lazy when it comes to that stuff. They don't want to do that extra work, and especially fans as well. They just want to judge play. Oh, he's that. He's done this. Oh, that means he's that. No. Why has he done that? Why is he expressing himself that way? Because that's what it is. Why is he like that? Where has he learnt this? If we keep just judging players and he's just like that, how are you going to get the best out of someone? How are they going to change? There's very few people that want to sit there and listen.
But you know what? This problem, it stems deeper than football. Obviously, I work in a school.
Yeah.
And
The same stuff.
Exactly. The school I work at has a lot more children with that are disadvantaged than.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, but then I've seen teachers react to their behaviour like really quickly, and then having an opinion and an unconscious bias towards said student. And you know what, that's easy. I think everyone has those moments. You can't always stop back and reflect. Sometimes, even though emotion isn't ancient, it's like as in separate from us, sometimes it does take over a bit more. But I've seen like, this child's horrible. But then it's like you look at their file, and then you're like, oh, they've been in care, or they've been in this, or they've been in that, or they've gone through this, or they got kicked out of school because of that.
I'll put it this way, right? I'm not going to name some friends or some people I've been around. They've come up in households where they witnessed domestic violence. So naturally, their way of showing love might be a bit more aggressive, or they might do certain things that I wouldn't, because I've come from a loving home with my mum. But then you've got people that get into these jobs, and obviously I'm not here to talk like, I'm not here like struggle or okay. or like struggle something to brag about. But you've got people that have basically grown up, they've not no life experience, they've not experienced anything, so their way of life is, oh, you should be like this, 1 + 1 = 2. Sometimes it's a lot more complex than that, and if you don't understand these things in life, I don't think you should be fit for a job. And if you're not willing to learn about how individuals are wired, why people might act a certain way, I'm not saying it because they've gone through certain things that it's okay to act like that. It's not okay, but some people require a bit more grace so they can change. Otherwise, the world's just going to continue being the same place it is. Yeah.
Yeah, no, because when you said that, it just made me think of my day today. Yeah. I mean, I'm not like, the stuff that I've said isn't specific examples of anything.
Yeah.
But it's just the reality of seeing someone be reactive, and I feel like then when it comes going back to the academy system, at the end of the day, you've got this highly competitive environment because people are chasing a pro contract. Even if you're under nines, if you're playing at a pro club, you've got half an eye on just progressing each year until eventually you're thinking.
It's the same for coaches. You know, you've got coaches that want to progress. So sometimes they're not going to have time for the player that's going through something, or he's not playing well, because they want to progress. They want the higher ups to see that my age group's doing well. No coach just gets in to be comfortable. So that's where it comes from as well.
Yeah.
But I feel like they should be judged on different aspects, you know? Like, they should have a story where a player's not been playing well. How did you get the best out of that player? You know what I'm saying? How are you actually coaching the player off the pitch? Because players remember that, and that's how they perform the best, when they feel comfortable.
Because obviously the playing side of football and trying to make it whatever your perception of making it is, it's tough. But becoming a coach, it's high work and low reward.
Yeah,
to an extent.
Nothing to be slept on. Long hours, dealing with different kids. Yeah, different kids. Your
parents.
You've probably got a missus at home who requires attention.
You know, just a quick self-plug. Check out my episode with Temi-san Williams if you want to learn an understanding of the journey as becoming a coach. So,
Yes.
Cheeky self-plug.
Yeah.
No, it's true though. It's there's so much that goes into it, but then it just sort of goes into fostering an environment where everyone can kind of be open and vulnerable. In an ideal environment, you'd want coaches that can be open and vulnerable about their job. Maybe not to the players because they're children, like in most cases, obviously when they're a bit older, depending on the relationships.
Do you know what though? Saying that, when you say a bit older, my TikTok is full with questions, and all these guys have coaches, but it's full of questions, and some of these guys have agents, and it's full of questions where I'm like, why you're asking me? Like, obviously I'll respond because that's why I signed up to TikTok to do, but I'm surprised, and for me it's a problem that you got wrong. For me, I'm a random guy on TikTok, and players feel comfortable to email me, literally pour their heart out, which is good because that's what I signed up to do.
Yeah.
But why can't they ask someone?
You know,
I know what it is.
You know what it is, yeah. Okay, not you know what it is. Yeah. Let's move forward. So obviously, academy, scholarship is pressurized. I'm assuming you probably had a phase where it wasn't great.
I'll tell you about scholar.
Huh?
Most interesting part.
Go on.
First year, I'll split up first year and second year.
Yeah.
Okay, so you finish your GCSEs, right?
Yeah.
Pressurizing time.
Yeah. That's tough for anyone.
Yeah. I had that extra revision. I knew I didn't do quite well. People get, what was it, 2 months off?
Yeah, summer holiday. Yeah.
I got a couple days. You're into full-time work, just like that. Full-time work at 16, just like that. It was 9 to 5 at QPR at the time. You're around the guys every day, competitive, and you're around the second year scholars. So it's only 1 year, but at the time it's a big difference because they've done 1 year. Yeah, that's a massive difference. They've done 1 year. For me, adapting to full-time work straight away like that was tough, man. It was tough.
Why are you calling it work? I mean, I know it's full-time, but how is it? Where's that separator of work and football? Because you played football because you liked that and you had fun. When did it become work?
Get an agent. You start to understand the business side of the game. Naturally, you're playing for your position. You're playing to get into the first team now. It's different. You're not a scholar to be a scholar. You're playing to get a pro. You're playing to make a name for yourself. Now you're always doing that, but when you're a scholar, it's like, okay, the next step is I need to get my ass on that bench. And there was more that went into it. When you're a scholar, you got to do like your college, you got to do chores, and you're just there for a longer time. You're at the club. You're growing up there. That's why I call it work. Schedule this structured day.
Did that make football less enjoyable for you? Did that change your views of football?
Yeah, the first year it did, because it depends who's in control. If I could, like, I went through a lot of. This is a good one. When out of school, your boys outside of school are now going to college. Again, you're growing up now. I'm a footballer. We're on social media now. We've got Instagram. Everyone's got Instagram. What I found was a lot of the guys in the academies, they weren't really focused on football. It was more so girls, other aspects of life. Girls was one of the biggest ones. You're growing up. You're starting to understand yourself. Most players they get distracted. I'm not saying I got distracted, but then the conversations you're having in the change room, like, oh, how many girls, like, you know, or this and that, and then if you're not like the guy that's popping, then this is how what's the word, man? Clicks form.
Okay, yeah. So you got like the guys that are popping, like, more gallist.
Yeah, just you know what looks cool. You know what I'm saying, and all of that contributes to on the pitch. If you're not in a clique, for example, or you haven't really got the most support in the team, or that's when it gets difficult. Now, what I learned about myself was my focus was never girls. Like, I was always football. And then through pressure of like other people, not saying I got pressure, but I was young, still getting to know myself. You start looking at other aspects of life. So you're growing up. Remember, 16, 17, 18 is a tender age where a lot can change. At the time, you know, drill was at its highest. At that time. So people don't know who they are. We're in the change room. This is a hardcore drill. Some people thinking they're bad men, but you're in an academy.
Yeah.
So much is going on, bro. So much is going on. Even where I'm from, everyone's on the drill. Everyone's like, so I'm like, I'm at QPR, but you know, I need to.
I know exactly what period.
Yeah.
What stage you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's the worst part.
You need to. I'm like, who the hell am I? But I need to wear so many hats here.
You're like, I'm not a road man,
Yeah.
but
I'm still cool.
I listen to music. You're thinking.
But my brethren's this.
Yeah. So you're feeling like you're trying to connect yourself in a way.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why scholarship is such a key part, because you're changing as a person. You're evolving as a person, let alone a player. And the person aspect is far beyond being a player. It's how you feel is how you'll play. If you feel rubbish, you're probably going to play rubbish. If you know yourself, you'll play better. A lot of people, we don't know ourselves at that age.
Okay.
You know?
So you said you split scholars into two.
First year and second year. Second year was better.
Okay.
I'd done the first year. I knew what to expect. I think the main coach changed. We spent a lot less time in the change room. The training ground. So it's more like you felt like a pro. And then boom, I got injured. Ruptured my Achilles last game of pre-season.
That's a whole nother setback. That's a whole nother
ruptured Achilles, you know.
Identity being challenged as well.
I started well. I come back from pre-season. I started well. I was training hard that pre-season because I never used to. I used to always just train in the ground. There wasn't all these extra one-to-one coaches or ball sessions and that like there is now. And then played well. I ruptured in like the 80th minute, which is the maddest thing. I played so well, and because I was playing well though, I got an extra year. I went down on the pitch, and I think it was Chris Ramsey at the time, and I literally looked at him. I was like, what am I going to do? Like, Chris, like, come on, bro. What is, like, what is this? What am I going to do? And he's like, don't worry, you'll be fine. So I got that instant reassurance.
Yeah.
That was a challenge. Still, how old was I? 17, turning 18. I was at home. Again, it's a time where, for youngsters in that side of London, things is changing. You're still getting to know yourself, but I was injured. My brain's everywhere, bro.
Yeah, no, I mean, everything's been shattered. Your way of being's gone. You're injured, so you can't do what you usually do, which is go play football, train, this and that. The work side of it, your routine's gone. Your identity's gone because you play for QPR, but you're not playing because you can't physically can't.
Yeah, people are progressing.
Yeah,
some people are getting better.
There's that. And I think it was in one of your skits, like where we're like, you go watch the team.
Oh yeah,
and the guy
doing bits.
The guy in your position is doing bits, and you're thinking
You're
feeling
cooking.
even more. You're feeling even more a type of way about being injured because you're not even getting the chance to show.
You're like my bro. But you see, football life goes on, man. You don't get forgotten, but you get a bit
left behind.
Yeah, you can do, but I didn't take it like that at QPR. I didn't take it like that.
So obviously you got the extra year scholar. They gave you the chance to recover from that injury. Because was it ACL? You said
ruptured Achilles.
Ruptured Achilles. Sorry.
So I did 1 year in the 23s. Yeah.
And then you went straight. So you did that, and then you went done the third year scholar, which is it's always a tough choice for players. Getting a third year scholar because it's like we want to keep you around, but we don't want to gamble fully on you yet.
We all got third years.
Is it?
Yeah, we all got. I don't know where the tradition come from. I don't know whether it came from Tottenham, that tradition.
Yeah, because from what I know, it's always been a 2 year thing.
Yeah.
But obviously, there's a lot that goes into.
So basically, we were pros on a different type of contract.
Okay.
Because we were doing pro stuff. But then when you get to 23s now, it's much better, to be fair. But then you got all sorts of challenges, like you'll have next guys that don't even play for QPR, like ex-pros, playing in your position, so you don't get the game time.
Okay, yeah.
That happens a lot.
What player? Tom Huddlestone.
Yeah.
Was that always playing with Man United's under 23s as a.
But that's someone's spot. Do you know what I mean? That's someone's spot. Like that's one thing I don't agree with. Like, how you getting? I don't care if you're a pro from. You were at Tottenham, and why are you playing for QPR 23s to stay fit? That's my spot.
So you feel like someone trying to stay fit is holding back the progress of players that need to elevate.
I never agreed with that. And to be fair, I've not thought of it a lot, but you're taking my spot. Every game I have here is a chance to progress. And a lot of us did not play.
I'd love to hear the opinions of players that were in that position. Do they agree? Do they disagree?
There's two ways though. I'm always open. Basically, we had pros that come over, and it's actually good to be around them. It's just not too many, because if they come over, I can ask them questions. A lot of them, like, you can confide in, you can ask them a lot of good questions, and their experience means a lot for them to be around. But if they're taking up game time on regular occasions, that's when it's like, hold on, you've lived your career.
Why let me live mine?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's move forward to like obviously we're scholar from you get told whether you're gonna get signed a pro or not quite early, don't you? Or is it?
Nah.
Is it
towards
the end of the season?
What? When I got released?
Yeah, when you get obviously when it comes to the decision of offering a pro contract to any of the scholars.
Yeah.
Like, was that something that happened at the end of the season, or was that something that happens a bit earlier, a few months earlier, and they give you a chance to like find other options?
Depends on how they want to do it. I don't.
How did they do it with you?
Well, because I, do you know what it is with me in QPR? Like a lot of the coaches, when I see them, it's respect. Like I don't have anything against it. It's just how people. I don't have any bitter feelings towards anyone.
Yeah.
I respect them. I still give them a phone call to ask them for advice. But was I given a long heads up? No. Or was it? Wasn't. That's facts. Also, the agent at the time, who I don't know what he was doing. I don't know if he was proactive enough. Like, we had there was all sorts of things which I don't really want to. It's quite.
Sorry, man.
It's quite.
There's a lot of
There's
factors.
There's a lot of like tactical stuff that goes on, especially when when you get released, right?
Yeah.
It's not because you're not good enough. If you can't play in the first team, there's no point in having you around.
Yeah.
But then some people want control at the same time. They still want to. They just when people get into places of power, they get obsessed with control. I think in any aspect, in any walk of life. So were things done correctly? I don't think so for a lot of players. Whether you have the right agent, you don't know what their intention is. You don't know what they're asking for of clubs. If they're respected. So I think by the time I had the thing, like, by the time I was told, it was too late. You want to be going on trial whilst you're on contract.
Yeah. Kind of goes back to who you have around and communication and things like that. How was your initial reaction to not getting your pro and then the next step? Because that's a setback, but it's a different type of setback because it's happening when you've been somewhere a lot longer than you have at other points, and
Yeah.
it's happening when you're older, so you process things a lot differently.
But I was 20, and so what happened at the time? I actually had my cousin died from sarcoma, cancer. So during my last week, they knew that. So obviously I told them, or I don't know who told them, my mum, that this was going on for Kraig, and they didn't let me play. Obviously, they're like, because that's tough news. We got told he was gonna die, so I knew someone was gonna die. So when I'm trying to prove myself, this is what I was going through. So my head wasn't on football. I did not register getting released straight away. It took me like 6 months.
Bloody hell, man.
Because I'm still trying to make a career. But there's other stuff more important going on away from the pitch. Which kind of was a bit worse for me, because then by the time it hit, it was like 6 months into the next season. So, yeah, I'm still grieving without realising. I'm experiencing delayed grief whilst I'm playing. I'm going through all sorts of emotions. On my birthday, I'm broke because I can't be going on trial all the time. You see, when players are going on trial all the time, they've got a secure family, right? Now, and that's totally fine. But if you could be going on trial, remember, the trial has to be paid for. You got to get there, get back. You got to, how you eating? What boots are you getting? Because you're getting older now.
Yeah.
My mum can't cover me. Like, we got to that certain age now where when I was 16, I was laying down money to support, because she was already needing that help.
Yeah, and your mum can't be buying you your boots or your kid stuff, or paying for coaches if you do outside sessions.
No, and I'm 20 now. Like, sometimes, I want to go out with my friends because it's an intense environment.
You can't ask your mum for that 20, 30 quid
No.
to go cinema.
That's gonna set her back. I've got to go get it myself. So that's when you fall into, like, you don't fall into non-league. I didn't understand, so I went straight into Hendon. They were step 3 at the time.
Yeah.
I'm playing well, but at that time there wasn't that focus on, if you play non-league, this way you can get to. So I'm thinking it's Sunday league. I'm thinking, what am I doing here? Like, I need to get into another academy. My agent's also giving me that same feedback. Like, we need to get you back into academy.
At 2021 though, like,
yeah, let's go down to West Ham. It's like, now I look back, it's like, you don't want it. You want to be playing non-league, bro. You want to be playing at a men's team, because this way most of the clubs are looking anyway. They're not looking at their own academy players because they know their academy players can't really play men's football.
Yeah.
It's messed.
And then obviously there's the different kinds of challenges in non-league itself. You're playing a complete different style of football. You're playing on rougher pitches. You're playing, depending on the steps. You're playing people that are working 9 to 5 and then going to play a high level of football, travelling, whatever.
Yeah.
Training 2 or 3 times a week. I don't know, like, it's
so
different.
When it comes to men's football, a lot of the experiences aren't just on the pitch. It's also off the pitch. How you're handling, speaking to coaches, different types of players of different ages, travelling, training in the evening is a massive one. What you're doing during the day, that was a big one. From training in the morning all the time to training in the evening, that was a big one for me, man.
Because you're in the environment the whole day.
Yeah.
Training.
Yeah.
What was the biggest challenge in adapting and transitioning into non-league after you got released? Bearing in mind the stuff you faced before, like, personally.
Making sure that I was a club that allowed me to express my ability. Also, there's different factors that when I went to Hendon, I said yes to the first offer they gave me in terms of money. I just wanted to play. They had a bigger budget than that. It's like, how am I going to get enough money to get by? Which I probably could have. But then there's that's the way experience comes in, though, isn't it?
Yeah, you're naive, innit? You're just thinking, I'm getting paid and I'm playing football. Let's go for it. Interesting.
But then your agent's like, nah, you should have told me. I would have got you this. I'm just like, bro, I just want to play.
Yeah, without all these. So then, obviously, how long were you playing non-league for? Like, are you still playing? Because I didn't ask you this, if you're still playing or not.
Earlier this season, I was. I'm just, especially with doing content and working, I'm doing quite a lot. I probably will get back into it. I had a setback earlier this season in terms of injury.
Yeah.
But I will get back in. I want to.
Yeah.
Just to sort myself out.
It's just I mean, you're more now. You're not just Kraig the footballer. You're Kraig that works full time.
I'm Kraig.
You're 1K Kmac.
I'm just I'm me.
My point, like, there's more hats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, like, you're here now chatting to me, sharing a story, which I'm really grateful for. By the way, you're gonna go see your friends later. Like, there's way more to you as an adult.
Yeah.
You're way more polished. You're way more understanding. You'll continue to become more polished as you get older.
Yeah. Nice. Because when I went to Hendon, one of the biggest challenges was I'm thinking about. See, this is important. I didn't mention I was playing for Grenada at the time.
Oh yeah.
See, there's so much.
Bro, I completely forgot.
When I was at QPR, I'm going to play for Grenada at the age of 19, representing my country, going to all these countries, and I took that same mentality that I had in non-league. I was like, I need to play well so I get scouted. Not understanding that now I'm 26 and I look at a 19-year-old, I'm like, you're playing first team. This is mad. You're doing so well. Me, I was like, I need to be playing 10 out of 10 performances. I was watching some of my games back at Grenada before, and I was like, I was actually playing decent. Why was I onto myself like that?
How did the Grenada? How long? So did you go straight into senior team with Grenada? Or?
Nah, I played a tournament, and this was because it was just to get me out there.
Yeah.
It was under 20s championships. Played against Mexico, teams like that in Florida, which was really good for me. I got that exposure to my culture as a Grenadian. Played around different players. I was able to be an example for some of the younger Grenadians that I was playing with, and show them the standard, just like players at Arsenal showed me the standard.
Okay.
I shared my experience, and I wanted them to see the levels so they can aspire to something.
Because you're probably one of the more experienced players that came.
I was the most, under 20s.
Okay, no, of course.
Yeah.
And obviously, I mean, Grenada's probably, most of their team's probably not full-time footballers, I'm assuming.
No. And what happened, I was one of the first of my age to start going over from London to QPR. Or to QPR to London. QPR to Grenada, sorry.
Okay.
And since I started doing it, a lot more players have.
Okay.
So I feel like I did raise some awareness on playing for Grenada.
Yeah. There's been a couple of good players that have played, like, you know, London based, that have played in Grenada,
yeah,
other Caribbean countries.
I defo, and that's one thing I'm proud of, because after me, a lot more guys started playing for Grenada from London.
You showed that pathway exists, right?
Yeah.
And then, so let's talk about, because when you went to when you were at Hendon and you were playing for Grenada, obviously it goes back to the money side of things. Obviously, you have to travel to Grenada as well.
This is interesting, bro. This is interesting.
Go on, talk to me.
So I'm going to Grenada 4 times a year. Obviously they gave us a salary, but we didn't know what the salary was.
Yeah.
They give us what they want. Then I'm playing for, obviously you only get paid when you play for Hendon. Like,
yeah, I
was on a contract.
Was it pay as you play?
Yeah, more or less. Yeah. So I can't get a full-time job at the time. I'm leaving the country 4 times a year, but doing what I like. So 2 weeks at a time, which was great. But you're relying on these people to pay you decent money. Often not the case. Another challenge. So yeah, that was the biggest challenge. You're relying on people to pay you decent money, so you can get by.
Yeah, no, non-league is a whole different world, man. In terms of, like, it's not as you haven't got them 5-year contracts that you were getting, the 2 year, even 1 year. Like,
I think once you establish yourself, and that's why it's important to get appearances, because coaches move around. Most coaches are quite lazy. They don't want to go and do new scouting. They want comfortability, right? That's why some of them don't change the team sheet.
Yeah,
they know their players. Don't care if you play well. They ain't gonna change the team sheet because it's comfortability, right?
Yeah,
can't blame them.
I think one thing I was looking at with non-league was that obviously academy is more about, on paper anyway, it's more about developing the player to the next stage rather than results. Obviously, if you win, great.
Yeah. But
then non-league is about results. You got to win those games to survive, to survive that league, to get budgeting, to get sponsoring, to go up the pyramid or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, what was that kind of like, where it was more It wasn't more about helping you get better, but making that team survive, basically making that team better. It was more about results than you being being.
So when I got released from QPR,
Yeah.
I went to Colchester on trial as well.
Okay.
So this is the thing, right? When I went to non-league, this is what happens with a lot of players. Sorry, I didn't mention this.
No.
You're at a non-league team, but you also got trials in the background.
Yeah.
So you're like kind of in and out, which pisses off gaffers.
Yeah, because they're thinking you're not here to stay.
Yeah, and they're not really rating the academy thing. They're like, why you should only go to academy if you're playing first team.
Yeah.
That's what happened with me. Because I'll tell you about the story of when I was going abroad as well. I was never fully focused on a non-league team. Yeah.
Okay.
I was always like, you always got people in the background giving you opportunities, like, so you're thinking, yeah, I'm only here to get minutes. I made a skit about that. I'm here to get minutes. A lot of players tell themselves that as a coping mechanism when they take the drop.
Okay.
But I went Colchester, didn't get into Colchester. At the time, Colchester and a team called Morden and Tiptree were linked. Morden and Tiptree had talent, man. They were step 4, but they always used to make first round FA Cup. My year did it as well. But the coach I had at the time, I think his name was Wayne, he was very good. And I'll tell you why he was very good, right? He still needs to win. Because I think he played for Colchester as well back in the day. And he's even managed them. We still needed to win, but he was on development.
Yeah.
And development in a realistic way. Like, I'm going to tell you what to do in your position to develop. He's on the sideline giving you pointers. He's not telling you to just squeeze up or... No, he's telling you things. Yeah, he's telling you things that make sense. Like get channel side when the ball's getting played down the channel. Yeah. Do things early. This is what you do as a centre back. Why are you not talking? Do this here. I still think about the way he used to coach. Obviously, if we're not playing well, he's gonna have to drop you. That's football.
Yeah.
Now, because I dipped out to go on trial. I lost my place.
Yeah.
I lost my place, but that's why I don't really. Unless the coach, which some coaches are just bad people, I think.
Yeah.
But he wasn't. He was realistic. And sometimes a player has to tell themselves, look, this is the game. If I go missing, I'm going to get dropped. So you have to be accountable, see things from different people's perspective. He was and that's why they did well more than Tiptree.
Okay.
You had to be on it. Young players as well. The budget wasn't really there like that at the time.
Yeah.
But it was realism.
So what I want to move forward to is your content creation, because this is where you stood out to me.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've spoken to people that were in the academy and then out, and they've taken all sorts of journeys. They've all got their different outlooks.
Yeah.
Some former pros as well. They're all about giving players better support and stuff like that, and workshops, player care, 1-to-1. There's one guy I know who he was a pro. And then he moved away from that, but now he's really passionate about giving the young people that support in the academy as an external person. But with you, what I find it really interesting is that you got the humour side.
Yeah.
You do your skits, you do your and you just show different angles of the game and of the journey, but you're doing it through humour. Like my impression of it, when I scroll through and I see the jacket, and then you're great, but we're not going to sign you. You know, stuff like that. And then I'm thinking you're showcasing the struggle in such an easy way, but in a way that you're kind of opening it up for people to be like, this is relatable, or I went through this, or I went through something like that. Yeah. So let's talk. Where did this? Because obviously, like, it goes back to your performing arts kind of background. You were always expressing yourself in a different way. Obviously, I've got a lot of different life experiences. Yeah. Like, and so does the next person, and so does the next person. But I couldn't just put on the camera and play it out in a way. Yeah. In a human. So how did that idea come about? And
again, like I say, I'm a very very observant individual. I'd say a lot of gaffers, they'll be surprised that I'm doing this right now, because I'm sure a lot of them have seen it, because I was always I didn't really show much of my personality when gaffers were around.
Okay.
It was mostly like, any player that's played with me knows that I got, like, if they'll just say he's got a personality. Like, I got
your character.
Yeah. The character. That's the word. He's a character, isn't it? But I say almost on a kind of serious note, looking back, a lot of it is a lot of trauma. That I've just accepted it's not necessarily a bad thing, which is why I'm doing it for humour.
I feel like, what is it with people with a comedy background being able to express themselves so well? Like, this is good. It's relevant, but it's not relevant. But like, you see Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
All the cast were from comedy backgrounds. All of them. They just have a way.
I'd say a lot of comedians have probably been through a lot. And sometimes the key in life is you have to laugh things off and find the funnier side. But I say with a lot of comedians, they've probably been through a lot. But then they sit there thinking about stuff and then they're able just to relay it in a different way that brings out a positive reaction. That's the case with me. I even asked someone who I work with, I was like, oh, do you see me as a comedian? He's like, yeah. I was like, raw. What? You see me as a comedian? Yeah, like, damn. But
So, yeah, sorry.
It's just simply me reflecting on my career and looking back and saying, you know what this guy actually told me was bullshit, but it's actually so funny. Like, it's actually funny.
What was the first skit where people started to really tune in and think and reach out to you?
Controversially, I made a skit about getting released.
I saw that the one. Yeah,
that's my most viewed video.
The one where it's like, yeah, you played for England,
yeah,
you scored goals, you captain, you've done really well, but you know you're not quite there yet.
It's the little details like, well, and this is like how it is in the working world. Thanks for coming. Why the hell are you thanking me for coming to something that I need to come to, bro? You know I want to be here. Why are you thanking me for coming? Red flag. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Yeah. When you edited the video, you done like red flag number 1. You like broke down the different red flags in that meeting.
And I know guys definitely send it to their parents, and even some parents will tell my mum, this is exactly how it was for my son, or I know it's exactly how it is, because it's like coach. I feel sorry for them. They have to do it. They have to do it. Like,
it's a tough part of the job.
Yeah, but some of them don't have any people skills in it. But they have to do it. But it's exactly how the meetings go. It's just like, you've done this and this, but because it's like that, because if there's no space for you in the first team, you might as well go. So it's not a bad thing getting released. So that's why I did it. It's a sensitive topic that I've always been sensitive about. But what I found from that is, if that had flopped, I probably wouldn't have done it anymore. But that showed me that what I was doing wasn't a bad thing. I was scared about that. Is it negative? Like, people, do you know what I mean? But people got it the way I wanted them to get it, which was relatable, quite educational for some people.
Oh, definitely.
Especially outsiders, because I'm sure I got a message the other day from someone kindly saying, I don't play football anymore, but your skits are funny. I understand all of them.
There was some kind of relatability to each.
Yeah, which I like, because I understand a lot of players might be struggling, but if they can see someone who's actually been through it and he's laughing about it and he's able to, because I still struggle with it, man. I still struggle with the fact that I don't want to be a pro anymore.
No,
but I still struggle with the fact that I put so much years into something, and there's so much stuff. If I had more knowledge, that I could have. My ability is not a question, right?
Yeah, it's
more the mental side that was a question.
Like, would you say it goes as early as when you couldn't express yourself when you were younger?
Yeah. So that's where sometimes the frustration is. Like, I know I could be on, like, some of these guys on TV. They know I saw Levi Cole talk about it. Sometimes it's by chance that and it's not because you don't rely on chance, but it's like, oh, we need this player. You're the guy we're going to choose.
Yeah. And
we're going to push you. But if people can see someone, especially, that's why I get a lot of messages. They can see someone saying, yo, this is educational, funny, and you relate in such, everyone says the same thing, you relate in such a way that's both relatable and educational, and you do it for humour, and I love it. They're like, I can't wait to see your face. I watch your videos from start to finish, and I'm like, damn. And it takes me back, man, because I want to help people.
Yeah. So what's your aim with this content and with the skits? Obviously, like, you sort of done it as a way of expressing yourself, but you've done it for a bit of fun, but you've done it for a bit of to support others. What's your overall aim, like, right now at this stage of our conversation now, like where you are now?
This is the thing with me in general, man. So when I do something, I like to just outdo myself. So I just like to get better at it. Once I see people laughing, I want to make people laugh again. I'd say long term, I want to build a community of footballers that we, like, say, off season, we're all training together. Maybe a forum where people can speak to each other. I went through this. How do I handle this? Can you give me an opinion? Just a community, because now what I've created, literally, people in the comments, I get people comment on my things regularly, and we're having conversations, basically. I do want to work with brands. I can fill a void. I can relate to different audiences, not just my own audience, like not just the mandem. I can relate to anyone.
Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing on TikTok.
Chameleon, man.
It's just, yeah, but it's not. It's my.
No.
Yeah. I've got a massive personality.
And you want to showcase that more and more.
And I know I can help people based off being genuine. I don't have that. I see a lot of people on TikTok. They'll give advice, and at the end they'll be like, "Yeah, if you pay X, Y, Z for this, you can get into this." You'll know you want money. You don't want to help people.
Yeah.
You want money. I don't want any player to go through what I went through, which was some dark times. If I can partner up with any brands or whatever and add some purpose and really make a change to at least one life, then that's what I want to do.
You're already doing that with a lot more, and a lot more than one life, man.
Yeah.
And you know what? There's people that I know that there's people that I've spoken to that are in the professional setting in a capacity.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking if they came across your content, they would love it. So like, nah, it's. I think it's really powerful. I think obviously there's different ways to show support, but the fact you're doing it from humour just really humanizes the whole thing even more.
Exactly.
And that's why I really wanted to speak to you, innit? When I was like, oh, because like obviously when I saw you on TikTok, I was like, okay, this is funny. Let me keep an eye on it, because this is like a few months that I've seen you.
Okay.
Like,
Nice.
do you know what I mean?
That's mad, you know.
This is a few months I've like had like an eye on your profile. Like,
how'd you come across it? Just FYP.
FYP, bro.
Mad, bro.
And then obviously I saw you on Instagram. I was like, okay, let me message this guy.
Yeah.
But like I messaged you. Obviously, this is where we talk a bit more on the creator side of thing, which we touched on at the start. Like, obviously, I messaged you to big up your thing and be like, I like your videos.
Yeah.
And when you replied, and I was like, oh, this is quite a warm response.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck it, I'll ask him if he wants to jump on, innit?
Yeah. But anyone just trying to make a positive, like, you're trying to give people an insight into what it's like, and there's a lot of outsiders that want to know. So anyone that's trying to do that, I'm all for it, man.
Yeah,
I'm all for it.
I think the don't get through skits, man, because obviously you've got a lot of these skits people that skit up normal things, innit?
Yeah.
You know, like the Axel Blake, he'll do random skits.
Yeah.
Like, they're funny though.
Yeah,
like,
they are. Yeah,
they're funny. Like, and big up all those people. Like, but yeah, with yours and the academy system and the non-league politics, it's unique, man. It's a niche.
Yeah.
Like, it's a good niche.
There might be gaffers out there that can't stand.
No, probably.
Can't stand it, but it's like, I'm not doing anything wrong. No one can tell me anything because it's my story, and subsequently, it's so many other people's story as well. So if I was getting like 10 views, I wouldn't do it. So clearly, what I'm doing is.
There's clearly a lot of people's story, or someone's
so they can not like it.
Aspect or something.
Yeah, they can dislike me. Like some of them, I doubt they do, because they know it's true. We all know it's true, and it's not. I'm not slating them as well.
No, you're just. This is what you saw, innit? This is your understanding of your world.
Yeah.
Like out of how many how much of your content is true, like, and how much of it is exaggerated, and how much is it just something you done for a laugh, like.
I'll be real. I'd say, you see the ones where I'm in the meeting.
Yeah.
Like, it's just me and my boy Abdullah.
Yeah.
Most of them is true. Like, the way sometimes that, like, people aren't honest, just in general. Just be honest. If you're not rating me, don't give me a random excuse. Just say, because if I can't take the truth, then that's on me. But don't give me some random excuse or tell me that you haven't got any budget when I know there's another guy on some mad money. It's disrespectful. That's how you lose.
You know what, there's one clip that you did, and it was like, I don't remember what exactly it was, but it was like you went to talk to the gaffer about something, and then you had like the favourite players sitting next to the gaffer, and I think you went to ask them, you went to say whether it was about minutes or playing time. This is in the context of the skit. And then you had like the gaffer talking to the favourite player. and then like going back to you with the excuses and stuff like that.
Yeah, I personally know that there's some gaffers that are like, I'll keep him around, and I'm not, unless he leaves, I'm just gonna keep him around and just feed him. Because they have to look out for the best interest of the club and themselves, so they got to do certain things. But there's certain gaffers that relate in a better way. They're more honest. It makes more sense what they do. Certain gaffers have no people skills. Yeah. And then when players act up, they're so confused. So
as we sort of start to close this conversation, I start with reflection. I end with reflection. What do you feel you've gained or haven't gained sitting down here today with me and having this conversation?
There's a lot of reflection. I know we're reflecting right now. Yeah. But there's certain topics where I've thought about them, but I haven't really spoken about them in detail. But sitting here today, it's understanding your perspective, basically, on what I do as well, and the effect it's had on you, which is also interesting with the skits and how you also see them, which is important for me and important for everyone else. Also, some of the aspects of it, you work in a school, and some of the stuff I was telling you about when I was younger, and how different children come up from different environments. It means it's true and it's a problem, and you've obviously sat in different rooms. And again, if people are watching that, and as a parent, for example, that's going to be very powerful. It's going to raise a lot of awareness, I think, and it's raised awareness to me.
Of how deep it runs with young people.
Young people, and let's not brand them as footballers, they're young people.
Yeah, we got to humanize. I hate calling people players.
Yeah.
Like, unless when it comes to like young, I hate calling them players. The players. I think there's just so much more to it, man.
Exactly. I think Reece James has in his bio like more than a footballer, and I love that because you're a footballer, you're a person, bro. Yeah. You're a person. People forget that. Even content creators will just dehumanize you.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. You create your content, but you're still you, man.
I'm a person. Yeah.
So what's one bit of advice you'd give to any young person, footballer, non-footballer, content creator, non-content creator? What's one bit of advice you'd give to the young people from your experiences that you think they should listen to and could benefit them?
Get to know yourself. Do what you want to do. Find one or two people that you can confide in and express yourself, and don't think of that as a weakness. Pay attention to what you're learning, and don't brand yourself as just a footballer. You're learning so much skills. Any problem you notice, write it down, because you could turn that into a solution. So pay attention and get to know yourself.
Alright, thank you so much, Kraig, man. This has been a really insightful conversation.
It's been good,
I'm probably gonna have my bits of self-criticism where, like, you know, when your standards are here, then maybe something, because it like. But I think I try my best. But like, you know, no, big myself, I've done it. You're here, we're here. Yeah. This is gonna be so helpful to lots of people, helpful, insightful, and hopefully entertaining as well. Yeah. But yeah, live through ball, people. Big up, man. Another episode done. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow on the socials. Follow Kraig on the socials and his journey.
Follow me, man.
It's the @1Kmac.
Yeah. Come on, man.
But yeah, nah, man, big up people, man. Always a pleasure to do this. Big up Kraig as well, man.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, man.
Nah, my pleasure, man. But yeah, see you soon, people.